For what purpose does the gentlewoman from New York seek recognition?
Representative Yoho put his finger in my face. He called me disgusting. He called me crazy. He called me out of my mind. There were reporters in the front of the Capitol, and in front of reporters, Representative Yoho called me, and I quote, a These are the words that Representative Yoho levied against a congresswoman. The congresswoman that not only represents New York's 14th congressional district, but every congresswoman and every woman in this country. Because all of us have had to deal with this in some form, some way, some shape, at some point in our lives. And I want to be clear that Representative Yoho's comments were not deeply hurtful or piercing to me, because I have worked a working class job. I have waited tables in restaurants. I have ridden the subway.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez today addressed abusive comments allegedly directed at her by a U.S. congressman. It comes after Florida Republican Ted Yoho was reportedly overheard using vulgar language to disparage the New York Democrat after a heated exchange. This is what happened earlier today.
What I want to express to Mr. Yoho is gratitude. I want to thank him for showing the world that you can be a powerful man and accost women. You can have daughters and accost women without remorse. You can be married and accost women. You can take photos and project an image to the world of being a family man and accost women without remorse and with a sense of impunity. It happens every day in this country.
So we're taking a closer look at the pandemic in India, where new questions are emerging over the country's death toll. There's more than 1 million confirmed infections across the country, and that's right behind the U.S. and Russia. However, only about 28,000 people have died from the virus, according to the official numbers. That's quite low compared to other countries, like here in the U.S., where where we've seen nearly 4 million cases and 142,000 deaths. So the Washington Post has been diving into this issue about how India is actually reporting its coronavirus cases and deaths. We want to bring in Joanna Slater, who co-wrote the article. So, Joanna, you point out that the population in India is generally younger, and from what we know about the virus, younger people get sick, but they don't necessarily die at the same rate. And you also point out that, there are large swaths of rural areas where it's just really difficult to get tested, so it's difficult to really know what the numbers are. What do you think are the factors that are having an impact on the death toll, at least what we understand to be the death toll in India?
So this is basically a really fascinating mystery about India's experience in the pandemic, right? India is one of 3 countries now that has over 1 million cases. Only the US and Brazil have reached that awful milestone. And India reached that milestone with about half the deaths that the US and Brazil did at that point in time. So the question is, why? And I would say at the moment we have a few hypotheses. The first is the one that you were mentioning earlier, that India has this.
Right now to talk more about this is National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow. Larry, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it.
I want to get your reaction to these jobless claims this morning. And the last time we spoke, you said that you were going to, you and your team were going to reassess where we are because initially you were looking for a 20% second half in terms of growth. Where are we today, Larry?
Well, it's still 20% second half, still in the V-shaped recovery camp. The jobless claims today, initial claims off a bit. The 4-week average, smooth average, which is what people tend to look at, continues to decline. I don't know, it's the 15th or 16th straight months. Continuing claims, which may be more important for unemployment, actually fell a huge 1.1 million. So I don't see any breaking of the downward trend for unemployment and the upward trend for job creation. We're reasonably optimistic about July. I do want to say, though, in general, when you look at the whole panoply of economic series and data, you've basically got a housing boom going on. There's an automobile boom, both sales and production going on. Manufacturing is surging from the ISM reports that you can see, including the regional Federal Reserve Bank reports. And that's a pretty good mix. Retail sales are very strong, and business applications are strong. I know we have an issue here, which we've talked about, and it's hard to predict, but the Southwest problems, the flare-ups of the virus in the Southwest, are still difficult. There are some